Abigail's Second Chance by Allyson Campbell. Chapter 3. As Abigail pulled up to her house, she was glad Oliver's car wasn't in the driveway. She still wasn't ready to see him. She walked into her home and closed the door behind her, breathing silently. As she walked around the living room, she saw the memories she and Oliver had collected over the years. There were so many. 10 years was a long time to be with someone. There wasn't time for reminiscing, though. She had to work quickly to gather some things before Oliver returned. Abigail was grave. She was losing someone she thought she would spend the rest of her life with. She thought things were going well in her marriage. Things weren't great, but she never expected Oliver to cheat on her, much less want a divorce. She continued on to the bedroom and started packing her clothes into a suitcase. She packed enough for a few weeks. Whatever else she needed, she could come back for, and she didn't want to come back too soon. She was almost done packing when she heard the door open and close. Her heart leapt. Oliver was here. She stood still. She heard the sounds of footsteps stop right before they got to the doorway. A moment later, Oliver showed his disheveled face. His almost 6-foot frame filled the door. He cautiously entered their bedroom. He stood staring at her, and Abigail turned to look at him. Oliver started to come closer to her. Abigail stepped back, putting her hands out to stop him, and started crying. "Please, don't come closer," she begged. "Abigail, we need to talk," he stressed. I can hear you from there. Just please don't come any closer. I don't want to be here right now." Oliver nodded, then begged, "Abigail, I'm so sorry." "I don't want to hear I'm sorry, Oliver. I heard you the last time you said it. I just came to get my things and leave. I'll be staying at my parents'." "You don't have to leave. I'll leave. You can stay here. I'm the one causing this stress." "That you are." Oliver digressed and sat down on a chair in the room. He slumped his shoulders and hung his hands between his knees. Abigail sat down on the bed, folding a t-shirt and placing it in the suitcase. She tried to appear composed, but she was burning up inside. Sitting down would stop her from giving him a smack on his face. "Have you told her you spoke to me already?" she decided to ask. "Yes, I have." "What are you going to do now?" "I'm going to move in with her. I'll leave everything here for you." "You've decided that already?" She looked over at him, twisting her face. He had made his choice. It hurt to hear this. "It's what's best. She's 2 months along already. I was just trying to find the right time to tell you." "There was never going to be a right time," Abigail snapped at him. "Who would ever want to hear their spouse tell them they want a divorce? You knew all this time and you're just now telling me?" "I found out a month ago," Oliver woefully admitted. "You found out a month ago and you've been smiling to my face? A woman knows when they're pregnant. She knew that longer and waited a month to tell you?" "She wasn't sure if she should tell me. She didn't know if I would want to be with her." "Yes, she wasn't sure if you'd want to leave your wife of 7 years." "7 years, Oliver," Abigail groaned. "I never once thought of cheating on you, Oliver, and that hurts." Oliver remained silent, looking dejected. Her father had offered again to go with her, but Abigail insisted against it. She was glad she hadn't given in. If Oliver was home, her father would want to talk to him. Abigail collected herself because she was about to lose control. She promised her parents she wouldn't cause an issue if Oliver were to show up at the house, especially if they weren't there. I didn't come here to argue, Abigail told him. I just came to get my things and leave. I said you can stay, I'll leave. I can't stay in this house, Oliver. This is our home. There are things here that belong to the both of us. I'm leaving everything to you. You can do whatever you want. Take the pictures down, burn what I haven't taken with me. I don't want anything from you. Burn what is here? You act as if everything is that simple. It's not just the house you're leaving behind, Oliver. You're leaving a family, an extended family too. We were a family, and you're just throwing it all away. I'm not going to stop you. You've already made up your mind, but you act as if this is easy. I feel sad for you. I still love you. Don't you dare say that. You don't love me. Her eyes burned with venom. Abigail, I do. I still love you. I am torn inside, but I need to do what's right. Then don't act like you're doing me any favors by saying that you want to leave everything with me. That's not showing me you love me. That's showing me that you don't want anything to do with me. That you don't want anything to do with the life we've shared for the last 10 years. 10 years total, Oliver. That's a long time, and you're throwing it away like it never meant anything to you. On top of that, you're leaving me for someone who's having your child. How do you think that makes me feel, Oliver? I know it's hard. You don't love me. Abigail stood up and started to go towards him, then stopped. You cheated on me, Oliver, for a year. You stopped loving me for a year. You never took into consideration how I would feel for a whole year doing that behind my back. She jabbed fingers at him. To make matters worse, you were sleeping with that woman without a condom on, and you slept with me. My God, Oliver, I could kill you. I could fight you in court and make sure you leave with nothing. But you'll probably find ways not to leave me a red cent. Not even with everything you want to throw at me now. Abigail, you're not like that. You better be glad I'm not. Abigail turned away from him and placed her hands on her temples. She was starting to get a headache again. Oliver, what am I going to do now? You have changed my life and during a hectic season in my career. How am I going to function? She turned back to face him again. I do a job that celebrates the marriage of two people as a big part of their lives. Abigail, I'm sorry. I truly am. Stop saying that. Abigail clenched her teeth. She became crimson with fury. She wanted to strangle him. I want to make this easy for the both of us, Oliver sobbed. I've hurt you enough, so I am not going to fight you for your money or anything that belonged to us. He paused and then cleared his throat. Kathleen probably wouldn't want anything that we've shared anyway. And you want to leave me with it? You can do whatever you want with it. You make me sick. Abigail turned to continue packing her things again. Just draw up the papers and send it to my lawyer. I'll be at my parents' house. I will have my things packed and out of here by the weekend. You can move back in after that. I am not taking anything but my clothes and things related to my work. I love you too much to want to fight you for it. Abigail looked at him. To hell with you, Oliver. Please leave me alone so I can finish getting my things. She went to her drawer to pull some undergarments and stockings out. And send those papers to my lawyer by the end of tomorrow. She heard Oliver sigh heavily, then leave the room as she stood with her back to him. A few moments later, the front door opened and closed softly. Abigail felt like she could breathe again. She felt stifled with Oliver in the room. The front door closing felt like the end of a long chapter, saying goodbye.